Okay.
So everybody's aware of this. We're now
Hold on one
recording.
second.
Okay.
Someone's running.
Alan's running.
Good.
Howard.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
All right. Don't burn it, you communist.
You're on the record, Glenn. Remember that.
Yeah. You think you're the only one with snide remarks, Alan? Look what I found in my room somewhere. I don't know if you can see it. Trump Plaza.
Nice.
From years ago when I went to the casino.
Before it got destroyed this week, huh?
The other day, yeah. So, all right. And, okay. So, thank you for everyone who's joining us today. We have about, I think, 12 or so
more people coming in.
More people are coming in. Very
couple
good.
More people.
Welcome aboard. The meeting is slated for about 45 minutes, so another 40 minutes left since it started at 4 o'clock. Okay, so Alan, I'm going to defer to you. If you're ready to start, I guess we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Correct. The flag and the flag.
Right, and then after okay, and then after the pledge, I want you to read that statement we just put out. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay, Larry, if you guess you could, when Alan starts, if we can mute everyone, then bring everyone aboard. Alan is a big A now. I don't know what that A is.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Okay, I thought that was Alan. Welcome, Anthony.
Hello. Hello. You want me to mute everybody and then just put Alan?
Alan,
okay.
Be unmuted.
Hold on.
And leave me, I guess.
Hold on. Wait.
Hello, can you hear me?
Glenn, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted.
Okay. Should just be Glenn and Alan.
For the moment, yes. Okay. So, okay, thank you everyone for joining with our Zoom meeting. I would like to defer this now to Alan. Alan, if you could start it off for us, please.
Of course, Glenn. I'm the chairman of the board of directors for the Brooklyn Tea Party. Folks, everyone put your hand over your, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's do that right away. Okay, I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Alan. And if you could start off with the statement we just came out from the board of directors, please, regarding Andrew Cuomo.
So you may have seen on some of our media already, including Paula. The Brooklyn Tea Party has released a statement, and I shall read the statement now. The Brooklyn Tea Party supports the efforts of the Republican caucus in the New York State Assembly to form an impeachment commission to remove Governor Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo's callous and fatal decision to compel nursing homes to accept patients who had been determined to carry the COVID-19 virus is unacceptable and requires culpability.
That's from the board of directors of the
Brooklyn board of directors and the board of directors and the officers of the Brooklyn Tea Party.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion? You should also impeach the president. Why throw him in there too? Throw him in there too with it.
Why not? He deserves it.
May as well
better believe it.
Same time, Lawrence.
Right.
That is you, Lawrence, I heard, right?
All
we
right.
have Marjorie Taylor Greene working on that. You know, the Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's starting that process.
Good. Get the communist.
That's right, the communist, that's right.
He's so horrible. But anyway,
He's like that.
so Alan, let's get the show on the road now. Let's move it forward. Well, first I wanted to just mention a couple of brief things. As you all know, what's going on with now Andrew Cuomo knows how it feels to be under the light, to be impeached, hopefully. So as he was giddy when they were trying to get our president, Donald Trump, of course, that didn't go anywhere. This actually might have some teeth because Andrew Cuomo pisses off not only Republicans but he also pisses off Democrats. And actually, this is a bipartisan issue because when you think about it, the elderly people who passed away in the nursing homes because of his gross negligence are also Democrats. So he has to realize you killed Democrats too. It's not a partisan issue here. You killed grandparents and parents of Democrats, Republicans, Independents. It doesn't matter who the hell you were. What he did, and it wasn't just him. Everyone followed suit of New York. New York was the leader. New York was the first. And then Pennsylvania. Then you had New Jersey. You had Connecticut. You had Michigan. You had all these other foolish Democrat governors following what Andrew Cuomo did because he is an Emmy Award-winning, host of Death Channel or whatever he was doing. He wins an Emmy. What the heck crap is that about? But I digress. So that is hopefully we'll have.
He's a Sfat Shame Jr.
There you go, Bob Grant show. Also, speaking of Bob Grant, in the light of talk radio, we would like to give our condolences to the Rush Limbaugh family. Rush Limbaugh is one of the pioneers in talk radio. I've met Rush many a times over the years when he had a TV show in Manhattan, and I was
He signed my book.
Me too. I got a couple of autographed books from Rush and his audio tape book. But I remember once I was on College Week with the Brooklyn College Young Republicans Club when I was president of back in 95 to 98. And it was College Week. And I remember they filmed the show like it was a live show. So they would go to commercial break and what have you. So during the thing, he was naming the colleges that were in the audience, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say, Brooklyn University is in the house. Brooklyn University." So then they go to commercial break. I tell the camera guy, I say, "Camera guy." Well, I didn't say it like that, but I said, "Camera guy, yeah. It's not Brooklyn University, it's Brooklyn College." So someone must have chirped into his ear. So when he came back from the commercial break, he went, "Oh, I don't know where I got that from. It's not Brooklyn University, ladies and gentlemen. It's Brooklyn College. Brooklyn College." So you see all us like little doofuses in the audience clapping and all that, holding up signs and all that. So it was a fun event, great memories. I had my father once in the audience, so I have that on videotape. You see my father in the audience, during Rush Limbaugh. My father since passed away. But great memories, the great champion for conservative values, Rush Limbaugh, and we owe him a gratitude of all the things he's done for us. And
God bless his life.
God bless him. And now he's going to see God, or he's already there, and he's returning his talent on loan from God.
Right.
He's doing that upstairs for us, and hopefully he'll be watching and protecting us from above. So God bless him and God bless his family. So on that note, I would like to now turn over things to Alan. Alan, again, if you would like to proceed further. Thank you.
Hold on, just before we go, Rudy had a hand up. Let me unmute her for a minute.
Okay. Go ahead, Rudy.
Okay, we'll do the
Okay,
Rudy
unmute.
Glenn.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, Rudy.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
So now we must concentrate. listen, now that we, in Brooklyn, must concentrate on people who want to run for office. And one of the things, the platform has to be that we're tired of these communists. It have infiltrated, in Brooklyn, everywhere in New York, and the corruption. And the candidates, no matter what they are, running for governor, mayor, anything, we have to screen them. They're like going for a resume, a business. We should have a list on what we feel they should be doing. Stop indoctrinating the public school system with this communist stuff. It's just communist, it's not socialism, it's not lefties, it's not progressive, it's pure Mao Zedong communism. And so now we have to, and they have to give a list. Like if they want to say, so-and-so is running, then we, as we should have a Zoom meeting or whatever and say this, these are the things that we feel that you have to fulfill. You have to get rid of the communists in our Brooklyn.
Right.
And, George Soros, I was wondering, like a lot of these candidates, how did they get elected? Like, who would want to elect them? And I didn't even know who they were. And all of a sudden I find out that a lot of them are communists. I mean, communists, they want to, cancel me. I don't care.
Well, Rudy.
So we have to say, so we have to make a list where they have to present
They
their
want to
resume
destroy us.
and their qualifications.
Right. One on that, Rudy. We have a mayor's race coming up this year. Well, the Brooklyn
Jim too.
Yeah. Brooklyn Tea Party already had
Bill Pepitone.
Bill.
Yeah, but we have to really make a list. It
And-
doesn't matter. We just have to make a list, and anyone if they can, if they, like you make a list, the indoctrination of our kids, with kids choose, whether you're a black or white, a child of 5 years old going to a school and they start hearing, because my grandchildren are mixed and everything, but you think about a 5-year-old, even like a black child, and someone says, oh, BLM, they matter. And then, children, it's very scary. It's not even, children are not, racist. Maybe they're not all, they're just innocent people just trying to pick out friends and everything. But it's terrifying. A child going to a public school is terrifying.
Yes,
because they're not
schools,
immune to hearing the news, their parents.
The public
And
Communists are
parents
teaching them
cannot
young.
be afraid that children are going to report their parents by accident. A child hears something and then he goes, my mommy said this, my daddy said this.
Right.
So children cannot be afraid. We cannot be afraid. So this is the list. We must make a list and they must follow. If they don't, we find somebody else.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Rudy.
Thank you, Rudy, for your suggestions. Appreciate that.
You want-
On that note, well, like I said, we have a mayor's race coming up. We had Pepitone speak to the Brooklyn Tea Party in person a couple months back when we had an in-person meeting, when we had a venue, which was my backyard. We are also, I spoke with some today about Mateo, was that Fernando Mateo, I believe?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He mentioned that he'll try to maybe get him to speak with us also.
That would be good.
Next month or two or what have you, maybe a Zoom or in person. I mentioned it would like to have it in person, but if not, we'll try the Zoom if that's more convenient at the time when we schedule this. So we're trying to work on that and to hear the different voices out there that would be running on the Republican side for mayor. Everyone should have a voice. Everyone should get a chance to speak their mind and see, what the populace of the Republican Party would like to choose, whoever that might be, for the nominee. Because look, this city is far gone. The way this city is, I've mentioned this in past Zoom meetings, it's going the routes of Detroit, okay? You look up the boarded up windows, everything, the business is failing and left and right. This is the formula of failure, okay? People have learned one thing, like we're doing Zoom right now. You learn that you could work from home. There's no need for a big, large, expensive office building. You could get a small satellite office in downtown Brooklyn or what have you for cheaper rent. You don't need the expensive, big luxury buildings in Manhattan. You don't, then, the domino effect, what happens? Broadway starts to, the lights will really dim on Broadway because no one's going to go out after work to go to a Broadway play. No one's going to go out to the restaurants after work to go out to eat with friends because everyone's going to be home for the most part. And if this continues in this light, that's what New York will be. It'll be Detroit, a horror show of a place, okay? Because of communist, basically, policies, liberal policies that have destroyed that great motor city, and the Big Apple will become the rotten apple, unfortunately. And we, as citizens of this city and state of New York, do not want to see that turn into the rotten apple. So we have to fight here. We have to fight wherever we could have our voice out there. Whoever the candidate is who's running for mayor, whoever that becomes, go out there and support that candidate. Hand out palm cards, when you're going out, please vote for this candidate, whatever. Hand out what have you. Do what you have to get votes for that guy. Because at the end of the day, we need to save our city. It is disgusting how much my property tax has risen. It is disgusting to see the crime, no bail, because of moronic Democratic policies that have destroyed this city and is making us go quicker and quicker into the cesspool that we are becoming. And it's quite disgusting. So anyway, on that note, Alan, do you want to proceed moving forward with the other portion of the meeting?
But of course, Glenn.
Thank you, Alan.
So, all right, Larry, put everyone on mute for the moment, except myself and Lawrence. Lawrence, are you there? Are you ready?
I just had a couple questions. Three questions. One, Glenn, when you hold the meetings in your backyard, will you still be doing Zooms so that people can join in from remotely?
That's a good idea. I
Yeah,
guess
George.
we could still do that. Sure, that's a great idea.
I was streaming over Facebook for part of the meetings, by the way, Lawrence. So you would have seen that there was some Facebook streams that you could have theoretically.
That's a hell way to go. Good idea. Good. Okay. Two, tell me, please, one way or another, is Curtis Lee running for mayor or not?
Yes, he is.
On what party?
Well, he's trying to run on the Republican Party. I believe Staten Island is supporting him, what I just heard today. So, but that don't mean they support him. He got, let's say, 3 of the 5 boroughs. That don't mean nothing, because at the end of the day, it's about the signatures. You gotta get signatures to get on the ballot. Once you're on the ballot, then there's a primary, right? Whoever has, let's say there's 3 candidates running, and all of them get the required amount of signatures that they needed, right? Well, then that just goes to the primary process. So with borough, the head of party chairman supporting, all that means is they're going to put, let's say, Curtis Lewer's name on the petition, because March 2nd starts the petitioning, and it's only 3 weeks this time, and it's a 1.5% of the numbers. So it used to be 5% of the numbers of your total district that you needed that portion. For example, I'm the district leader of the 44th Assembly District. We, with the 5% number based on the registered Republicans, I would need 346 signatures. This time around, because it's a 1.5% compromise, and that is now the number is 104 signatures. So they're talking about, they passed it in the state legislation, but it has to be agreed upon by county. If the county committee, which county committee is the ones that elect the county chairman, I'm also a county committee member. If they're going to extend that because of COVID another year. So that means me as a district leader, I don't have to divvy up my district to say, oh, okay, this particular election district, which comprises of like a 3-block radius, I have to run 2 people here. I'm going to run 2 people in this other election district within the assembly district. So those are called county committee. There's also judicial delegates, which I'm also a judicial delegate. And that when you go vote in the voting machines and you see, why is these judges in the same party line? Because what happens is they actually are, supporting cross-party endorsement. I don't agree with that. I never vote for that way. I only say, is this guy a Republican? Then he'll have my support. But if he's a Democrat trying to run on the Republican line, okay, that's great that he wants something to do with us. But at the end of the day, he or she or what have you, be a Republican. I don't like that Wilson Pakula stuff. That's just me.
Okay.
But
my last question was, I saw somebody else ask about this also on chat. With Cuomo's demise coming pretty soon now, we have a golden opportunity. Is there somebody can run Republican side and actually win the governorship next year?
Right. We need someone probably downstate. Usually what the Republican Party winds up doing is they usually get someone from upstate. We need a downstate person to pull some of those votes away that normally go traditional Democrat. I'm sure we'll get the upstate vote from whoever that we choose because they're sick of Democrat rule too, and it tends to be more conservative, that part of the state. But if we could get someone downstate that could chip away at the numbers a little, someone, whoever that might be, I don't know. But we need to chip away.
Former congressman from Long Island.
Who would that be? Peter King?
Peter King, I think, would probably be one of the best candidates. He's a bit older, but he's a winnable candidate. Or even Lee Zeldin, but Lee Zeldin might not be as effective as Peter King.
Well, we need someone out there.
sure.
We need someone in the minor league system here. Because
I'm not sure Peter King would do it. I think
don't-
he's retired from politics. That's
No,
it.
he wouldn't. But there should be a draft for somebody like him because he's winnable. Because he could win. We need somebody who could win. Enough of this dilly-dallying BS with not winning. Republicans need to take a cue from somebody like Trump and win in New York. New York is winnable, 100% winnable.
Yeah, you're right. So hopefully we could find some candidate. But you're right, Howard, with that. We do need to have someone that would be winnable because at the end of the day, I rather get 50, 60% of something than 0%. You have to understand. Oh, I'm a tried and true conservative. So am I. I'm a real conservative. But keep in mind, oh, I don't agree with that. I'm not voting for him. Okay, who are you voting for? I'm staying home. Oh, wow. And what did you get? Well, why is this communist in office? Well, you're an idiot because you stood home. Yeah, but he was against this and I don't agree. Well, guess what? I'm against that too. And I voted for him. Why? Because I'd rather have 60% of something I agree with than 0%. Get that through your heads, people. Oh, what does that get you? It gets us higher taxes. It gets us all. Look, I understand a lot of Republicans are basically Republicrats. I get it. Unfortunately, that's what the hell it is. And what we do is
no bail.
we put them to the grindstone. It's called what? A primary. If there's a primary time, you primary them out. Go ahead, Alan.
Less cartoony, Glenn. And at the end of the day, let's not go over into Republicrats or whatnot, because here's the thing, okay? As strong of a conservative as I am, and you've known me for 25 years plus. It's been 25 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is we're not the monolithic Democrats, okay? If you sit around and you look at who's going after Cuomo, for instance, it's not the Democrats that are all pissed at Cuomo. You have your AOC types, and they're salivating because they think that they're going to knock out what they consider a conservative Democrat in Cuomo. I know it's horrible when that's considered conservative Democrat, but when you're a bunch of communists, yeah, anybody who actually proposes that there should be private property, private business, etc., is their enemy. So the Democrats have a huge litmus test, as we've been noticing. If you haven't watched the Democrats with their jockeying for the Congress various committees, they've got a huge problem on their end, and they've had a purity test. They've been canceling each other out. We can't win by canceling, one, each other out, and two, by saying, listen, you're a Mitt Romney type, you're too liberal, because at the end of the day, as you said, we still need somebody. I'd rather have Mitt Romney, who I don't particularly care for, but I know 60, 70% of the time he's going to vote at least on our side, if not higher, then sit around and you get, who are you going to have? Chuck Schumer, I'm lucky if he votes 30%, 40% for what we want. And that's being extremely generous. That's being extremely generous.
Yeah.
Mind you, if we get AOC, who's thinking of challenging Schumer, it'll be 10%. So, you know, it just goes straight down to that. All right. So as I said, you know, we just have to stop purity tests. I hate those things. It doesn't work. It ends up just being us being cannibalistic, eating our own. Let the other guys go kill themselves with purity tests. Let them go up and kill. Oh, you're not a progressive enough. You don't believe in X, Y, and Z. You said you're against racism, but you're not anti-racist. Let them be the ones who throw themselves off the cliff.
Alan, on that note, if you don't like the particular, let's say there's a sitting congressman, a sitting senator, run someone against that guy in a primary if you don't agree with them. I agree. Let's say for example, it runs. Time out. No. This is a primary. You're allowed to.
But not kill your guy.
No. You're in a primary. You can vote that guy out.
Hold it.
Vote him out. But if he wins, the guy that you were against wins, but he's going to give you 60% of what you like. Don't sit home, is what I'm saying. Don't sit home and then allow the communist or whoever the hell running against them, you're going to get 10% or 0%. That would be stupid at that point. That's what I'm saying. Hash it out in the primary. If you win, great. If your side wins, but if your side loses, don't sit home. You're going to get
like I did with Trump. I was a Cruz supporter, but when Trump won, I went all in for him.
Right, exactly.
Here you go.
All right. So Lawrence, on your again, you were at the January 6th Capitol. What do you call it?
It was a rally. It was a rally.
Rally. That's what I was trying to say. Meeting, I was going to say, but rally. And you gave your experience at the last.
We have 10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
10 minutes left.
Boy, time flies. So I just want to get your perspective of now after the impeachment has happened, the trial that is, and that it went nowhere, and what you heard during that crap fest in the Capitol building of what they were trying to do there. What's your opinion on what was that about, and also the direction of this country?
Okay, the impeachment was a joke, like the first impeachment was a joke. It's nothing to do with anything Trump did. Think about the impeachment the first time, a year ago. That was all about that supposed phone call he made with the Ukrainian prime minister, which was perfectly fine. It was all covered because Joe Biden did engage in a quid pro quo concerning the prosecutor that was going after his son for that dirty deal they did with that Burisma corporation there. This one is more cover. They're trying to destroy Trump because they're scared of him. That's all it is. They're just trying to destroy the man any way they can. Now they're trying to make it so he can't stand on the grounds of Capitol Hill. Do you hear that one?
No, I didn't.
They're going to use the 14th Amendment, which was used to keep Confederate generals from running for office.
What?
This is insane. They are insane. But they have Trump derangement syndrome to the max. That's all it is. It's nothing based on anything. It wasn't a riot. It was a riot. But who knows how many false flag people were in that crowd? We don't even know. Look at I point you to the recent article in I forget what Washington Examiner by Byron York, where he asked all these questions we don't know the answers to yet. Who shot the woman in the Capitol? Right? Who was that officer? Who did he work for? Why did he shoot her? Where is he being prosecuted? What is the status? Who killed the policeman? What fire extinguisher? There was no fire extinguisher.
Right.
Found out there wasn't.
He was alive and well after the riot was over.
He went to work afterwards.
It's all a crock. It's all a lie. We don't know how many of that riot was staged, but I'm telling you, the rally was perfectly fine. 99% of us did nothing but cheer. Okay? It was just a few kooks with a lot of false flag, I'm sure. They already know some people were there from Antifa and Black Lives Matter. So it was all phony. And it's all designed so they want to destroy Trump because he scares them. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
That's what I would say. And all of the 7 Republicans who voted to convict him should be primaried.
Absolutely. That's why you vote them out in a primary. But unfortunately, if they wind up staying, don't stay home. You're going to get worse.
I agree.
You're going to get worse at that point.
And also primary Liz Cheney.
Oh yes, get her out of here. And that's.
And one more thing. I'll say one more thing. Trump's new political career has already started. Did you see what happened in Arkansas? Sarah Huckabee Sanders went to run for governor. He supported her. As soon as he did that, the guy who was already running got out of the race.
So look at that.
So he's got a lot to say.
wait, so the guy that was trying to run against her, and I forget what his name was. We have a couple of minutes. I noticed we have a new person, I believe, Daby. Daby?
Daby, yeah,
He has his hand up. Why don't you see what?
Daby's running for controller. I know Daby for several years,
Okay.
and he's a good guy. He's a good financial guy. It would be nice to have a controller that actually knows something about financial business. And yeah, go ahead, Daby.
Daby, go ahead. Welcome aboard, Daby.
So much. I'm gonna figure out how to take my hand down over here, but at the end of the day, I'm running for comptroller, and the issues that we have, it's not a red issue, it's not a blue issue, and that's really what I'm going to really explain to win over the Democratic base and hollow that out, because that's what's been happening to other Republicans for many, many years. So there's a lot of issues that I have a lot of things that are on my website, but the big thing that I'm going to explain is how to bridge the gap between the 99 and the 1%. And that's really what I believe that my candidacy is going to be about. It's going to be about restoring faith into our financial system and bringing people together, because the reason why we're so divisive, the reason why Republicans are against other Republicans, the reason why the case you just brought up is because you're not getting everything you want. And really, to get everything you want, we need to be able to stop people like Andrew Yang and people who are pushing us and dividing us further and further. So there's so many things I could say. I feel like everyone's so passionate. I don't want to interrupt because it's such great conversation, but I wanted to let you guys know that I'm here and I hear your messages, and I'm running. And thank you, Larry. Thank you, everybody, for really sharing that message. But I could take any questions, but I don't want to detract from the conversation we're having, because it's very important for all of us to really hear it out and understand.
Just one quick thing, because I only have a couple minutes. Daby, what's your website? And also, how do you say your last name? I'm sorry, I can't really see.
Absolutely. My name is Daby, and my last name is Carreras. So Carreras, just the Porsche Carrera, with an S. It means powerful, it means strength, it means quickness. My website, I actually have a multiple of websites. There's Vote Daby, which is vote, and then my first name, DABY.com. So votedaby.com. Then I also have just my first and last name, DabyCarreras.com. And the last one, which I think is going to be the most instrumental website that we'll see, which will be extremely protected because we can understand that the opposition wants to remove it. I'm an owner of a company called Drain the Swamp LLC. And my Drain the Swamp company, the firm that I created, is really about getting Republicans and getting the message about ending corruption. So the website is draintheswamp.nyc. So www.draintheswamp.nyc. So you can find a lot of stuff on me. There's a lot more writers. There's a lot more information coming out. But I love the conversation that we're having here. So I wanted to interject and just add that to the mix.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate it. Also, I see Frankie.
Yes, Frank.
Frank, clue him and get him in quickly before.
Yeah, we'll get him in.
Okay, Frank.
Go ahead, Frank.
Frankie, welcome.
Hey, first I want to say hi to Glenn, to Alan, to all the people at the Brooklyn Tea Party. I know it's been a while since I've been here, but I just wanted to say hi to you guys. And I love to see the energy. I love to see the passion that you guys still have, and that you still, are fighting for what's right in New York. And like I think everyone here, and I think a woman, Rudy, said, we definitely need to make a point of who we're going to elect in New York City. We have to really make that stand heard about who we want as our representatives, for whether it's mayor, whether it's comptroller, whether it's public advocate, city council, or representatives, all of them. There should definitely be a list that I believe, and we would love to, and I'm working with Daby Carreras' campaign to really promote him for comptroller. I believe that he's the most qualified. He has a lot of passion. He's, a very, very supportive of the president. I think a lot of great things are going to happen in the city. And just my opinion, I would love to interject on what I see as a winning ticket is, and not everybody here might agree with me, but I believe that Fernando Mateo for mayor, Daby Carreras for comptroller, and John Tobacco for public advocate, I believe would definitely be a winning ticket for the Republican base and for our party, because we have a mayoral candidate that is very passionate, very real, very, very close with a lot of Democrat communities that we need. Here's the thing. We're not going to win New York with someone who's fully like 100% just stuck with the Republican base. There's not enough of us. We need the Democrats. As much as, we might not disagree with them, we need to stop this division between Republicans and Democrats and really branch out, which is why I'm part of the Daby Carreras campaign, because we really want to branch out to 7 different communities, the same way the LaGuardia did back in the days. We want to reach out to 7 different languages. We have Greek, Polish, Arabic, Spanish, Chinese, and we're making palm cards right now that we hope that any volunteer out there, any patriot out there that really wants to help with this campaign, that we'd be able to do this, that we'd be able to reach out to the community.
Thanks, Frank.
So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
How much
Frank.
time do we have, Larry?
Gotta go.
How much time? What do we have?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Oh,
All
boy, we need to get more minutes here. Okay, I want to thank everyone because we're running out of time, and we're going to have another Zoom meeting again next month, March. Same thing, probably 3rd week in March, depending if there's some holiday that lands on it. We have to figure that out. But until then, I want to wish everyone be safe out there. This snow is disgusting. I'm still digging out my cars. It's a horror show. But be careful. Be careful with the ice. I had a lot of people at work slipping and falling at my job also. Just be careful when at nighttime when it freezes up. But on that note,